To my Father's house, where there's joy, joy, joy. There are many rooms in my Father's house, in my Father's house, in my Father's house. There are many rooms in my Father's house, where there's joy.
Y'all, welcome to the Clemson Foothills Church. A few people ran long races yesterday. Some people were driving to the other side of the state for exciting things. Coming in second place with band, watching some other teams.
You, God, to love each other, to serve each other, and at the end of the day, to point each other back to you. I pray that this service does that for each of our hearts, and that we can just really have a great time worshiping you together. In Jesus' name, amen.
I'm going to sing Thank You, Lord. It's number 700 in the book, if you have the book. Thank you, Lord, for loving me, and thank you, Lord, for blessing me. Thank you, Lord, for making me whole and saving my soul. I want to thank you, Lord, for loving me. Thank you, Lord, for saving my soul. Let us all with one accord sing praises to Christ the Lord. Let us all unite in song and praise Him all day long. I want to thank you, Lord, for loving me. Thank you, Lord, for saving my soul. I want to thank you, Lord, for loving me. Thank you, Lord, for saving my soul. Please reveal your will for me so I can serve you for eternity. Use my life in every way, take hold of it today. I want to thank you, Lord, for loving me. Thank you, Lord. want to thank you, Lord, for loving me. Thank you, Lord, for saving my soul. Amen.
All right, before communion, we're going to sing All to Jesus I Surrender. That's 474 in the song. All to Jesus I surrender, all to Him I freely give. I will ever love and trust Him in His presence daily live. I surrender. Take me now. I surrender. I surrender all. I surrender. I surrender all. All to Thee, my blessed Savior. I surrender all. All to Jesus I surrender, Lord. I give myself to Thee. Fill me with Thy love and power. Let Thy blessings fall on me. I surrender. I surrender all. I surrender. I surrender all. All to Thee, my blessed Savior. I surrender all. One more time. I surrender all. I surrender. I surrender all. I surrender. I surrender all. All to Thee, my blessed Savior. I surrender all. Let's have a seat.
Hello, everybody. Good morning.
Howdy.
For those of you that don't know, my name is Lauren, and I'm going to be just doing the communion today. So the importance of communion is just remembering Jesus. As he says in his Last Supper, he says, he took bread, and when he had given thanks, he broke it and gave it to them, saying, "This is my body, which is given for you. Do this in remembrance of me." And likewise the cup, after they had eaten, saying, "This cup is poured out for you, and is the new covenant in my blood." So I'm going to start with a question of, do you think about God every day? And I'm going to kind of change that question a little bit more and saying, do you think about God intentionally every day? And I think that there's a difference in how you can, I thought about him. Did you really, he says, do this in remembrance of me, and I think we do that every day, is remember him. And just to share a little bit about myself and kind of how that has impacted my life. So a little backstory, in case you don't know. I just graduated Clemson in May. Go Tigers. Got my bachelor's. Big accomplishment. Really hard, but worth it. And I decided to stay in Clemson. I'm not originally from Clemson. I'm from Maryland, 9 hours away. And I didn't want to move back home. Who really does? And I was confident that I was going to get a job and stay in Clemson. The reason why I wanted to stay in Clemson was because of y'all, this church community that I don't have back home. And I knew that it'd be really hard to find and honestly doubtful that I could have the family and the community that I have here. So I got a job and I became a CNA, which is a certified nursing assistant. And for those of you that don't know, there's a hierarchy in the medical field. And there's Dr. MD, and there's everybody else, and literally at the bottom is CNA. And I just graduated Clemson. I was top dog, senior. You know, I was known in my sorority. I knew people on campus. I'd go downtown. I knew everybody. And I was like, yeah, I did pretty good with myself. And now here I am. Like literally the bottom. Like, you can find it online, the hierarchy, and literally see it.
Google it.
So I was a CNA, and I started with the intention, like, okay, I'm going to serve these people. You know, these are elderly, seasoned individuals. Don't like to say old, you know, around them. And they need help. Some of them can't even brush their teeth. Some of them can't take a shower. Some of them can't even walk. You know, and they need our help. You know, they need us, who are fully capable, to help them. And the job stinks a lot of the times, literally. And but you know, I'd walk around. I was like, "This is totally worth it. This is good." But my hours were 3 to 11, and some nurses in here know, like working the night shift, Megan or Adam or whoever, Jules. It's not fun. This wasn't night shift, but it still stinks. And I found myself in this awful habit over the summer where I worked from 3 to 11, stay up to about 3 watching Netflix, sleep until like noon, maybe get some stuff, then go back to work. And I did that almost every single day, and it was awful. I couldn't spend time with y'all. I was like, why am I even here? If I'm just going to work and sleep, I can do that in Maryland. And I don't have to pay rent, don't have to pay groceries, I had to pay nothing. Why do that here and actually pay for everything? That's stupid. So I couldn't spend time with the body. And it got to the point where I didn't even want to spend time because it was energy I had to exert out. Like, I have to wake up at like 9? What? You know, like, I stay up till like 3 a.m. That's impossible. And got to the point I was like, okay, once I got certified, I started looking for jobs. And I applied to a lot of jobs. And those who have been on the job hunt, it is not easy to get a job. You know, the economy's good, but still getting a job is still hard regardless. And I finally had my break. I got this interview, on the phone. I kept playing phone tag with her on this Thursday, and on Friday she finally got in touch. She's like, hey, would you want to come in and interview? Well, that next week, I was going to be at the beach with my family. I was like, okay, do I put this job interview first that I could get, could not, or do I go back home to Maryland, go to the beach, spend time with my family? So I ultimately decided to spend time with my family. I was like, you know, it's like 10 days. They can't fill this position. It was for a nursing specialty tech in 10 days. Well, I get an email on the Saturday, right before I'm supposed to come home, saying this job had been filled. And I was devastated. It was awful. I went to my room, and I was just like, no, God, like, this is not real. You didn't do this to me. And, of course, you know, I was upset. My family and I were going out to dinner that night, and I was like, screw it. I'm drinking. I'm forgetting about everything. Give me some whiskey, because that will do the trick. And I did. I just drank my cares away, because I was like, I don't care. What's the point? When I go back home, I might as well at least have a good night out, you know? Went to church that next morning. They read from Ephesians where it says, do not get drunk with wine, for that is debauchery. And I was like, God! What the heck? Calling me out! I was like, what the heck? I can't do anything. So I get back home to Maryland, and I was in a rough place, and I'd go to work crying, I'd come home crying, I'd lay in bed and cry myself to sleep, and I didn't want to spend